Namaste, welcome. I hope it's working. Then we can start. So make sure you have comfortable clothes on, warm and nice, and have some props around. And then let's start with the hands together, just connecting with yourself, closing your eyes, sitting on low sitting bones. Breathe a couple of times deep in and out, just to arrive in your body. Arriving in the spine. Feel the spine lengthening. And then you open your eyes and bringing the soles of the feet together. We go into butterfly, now to rounding the spine, to stretch, to lengthening the lower spine, mid-spine, and upper spine. So start with the chin down. And then slowly you go further down, like you're melting, like a sand sack will go sinking down. And then if you like, you can go in your hips more forward. Using maybe props for supporting the head, or using your fist, or maybe a cushion or block. And then just watching the process of melting down. It's not like in 1 second you can do that. The body cannot let go quickly. You're just using your breath, sinking down to the belly. And then the nerve system start to go on the rest digest system, and then the skeleton muscles can relax. The heart can relax, and then the mind is following. And then you go relaxing in deeper pockets of tension in the body. And then slowly arriving in the fascia, in the connective tissue. And to really relax and melt in the fascia and the connective tissue, it's like 3.5 minutes. So in 5 minutes, we give the body plenty of time to finding the way. Always be mindfulness with the body when you're in. And then after a while, when the body is okay, when the breath is okay, then start to slowly move away of the awareness of the things. Today, I want to focus more on space. Because we are always focused on material, things we want to have, a bigger house, maybe a car, or certain status like a job, or to see and build up who we are. But the key to more peace in mind, heart, and body, the way for more healthy being, is listening and living in the space instead of the things. And today I also want to focus on the long and large intestine meridian. When it is out of balance, we really go clinging on things, like collecting, hoarding things. It is a way to feel safe, to feel control. And when we are open in space, it's much scarier because we cannot control space. So respect for time. So slowly, slowly, you come out of the pose. Do what you need to do, maybe some movements, or transit through the belly. Maybe come on all fours if you like. You can do a couple of times cat and cat. And then come lying down. If the pubic bone is maybe sensitive, bring a blanket under your pubic bone. Then let's do, this is my left side. So I bend my left leg and bring it up to the side. I will show it to the right that you can see it like this, like a half rock, but then I do it with the left. And then my left hand goes to the right, like thread the needle. We go with like a half frog with the leg and a half broken wing. So your left arm is all the way straight there, and maybe just bring your right arm and hanging like this, and maybe this is already enough. So target area shoulder. If you want to go deeper, you bending your elbow, and then on the palm of your hand, you bring your side of the head, and then you let all the weight of your head resting on your hand to wrist area. And then you feel probably a deeper stretch in and around your shoulder. It's we turning out, extra rotation. Now we're stretching the ligaments, stretching the fascia, the capsule around. And stretching also the muscles. You have a lot of muscles. They are very important for stability of your shoulders. But if you doing things, repeating too much, like maybe like a kind, if we look to yoga, like an Ashtanga practice, we have all the time the vinyasa, like the chaturandas, upper dog, downward dog. So repeating that over and over every day for a long time and years, we can develop like sometimes overloading disbalance through all these muscles. But also like a wrong posture behind your computer or standing, or maybe you have another job. You have to use your arms in a certain way. And you have to repeating over and over the certain things, and then this balance are coming. Maybe the first couple of years you don't notice, but slowly, slowly, you get maybe little troubles in shoulders or neck or headaches. Good. So just melting down. Maybe you feel, I feel also my left hip, that's the hip I have arthritis, doing too much things in my life, like jumping from buildings in movies. And before that, doing gymnastics, also training a lot and repeating movements every time and with a lot of forces on it. And in my family, we have like everybody has kind of weak joints. But I notice, especially in the lockdowns, when I did less, and then also I had a rough 2 years. I was not paying attention to myself. And I did less yoga. And I noticed then when I do less yoga, when I move less, I get very pain in my hip. When I moving a lot, doing a lot with my hip, then I have less pain. Good. So slowly, slowly lifting up your head and then slowly, slowly stretching your arm. And bring your leg back, and then you opening this broken wing, and then you bring the other arm to your side. So now the right arm is to your side with the palm down on the level of your shoulder, and then you turning to your side. And when you turning to your side, important is that you walk your hand with you, and then stepping over with your left foot, or bring both knees together, or bring cushions under it. I like to step away. And my left hand, I like to choose to having a little bit support on the mat. Some people like to bring it to the back. Maybe that's also a nice little stretch in your shoulder. So this is an open wing. So we focus now more on the front. And if you don't feel anything, walk your hand maybe more forwards or more down. To finding a good, nice stretch. And then closing your eyes and then arriving in. And where I started with that we are too much focused on things, and especially when long and large intestine is out of balance, we sometimes cling, attach too much on things, and maybe start to collect all items in home, like hoarding. And that we are obsessed with things and image and the outer layers of us. And we have to go in, we have to finding our true nature. And one thing is to learn to look in space. Like you looking into the sky. And most of the times you look like, oh, it's so beautiful. There are so much beautiful clouds, or the sun is shining, or it's so beautiful. It's blue. Or we're looking more for the birds are flying, or we looking for airplanes, or even UFOs. We always focus on things and not only the space itself. So now what you do, I learned it from a teacher with the orange. So just imagine, visualize the orange in front of you with your eyes closed. So imagine. You see the orange with the green leaf maybe still on it. And then seeing the space in between the orange and you. And let the orange slowly fade away. You're just looking in space, what's passing by. And not looking and being focused on things. Just stay remembering the space. The three-dimensional space. Not things. And then slowly you're turning back. See if you need a rebound, or you bringing your right arm all the way over to the left. Oh, maybe first the leg. That's maybe nicer. So you bring your leg first in half frog, the right one. So what we do now, the right side. So then right arm, maybe you still feel your shoulder. And then you can bend your elbow and bringing your uh, cheek, your face on the side on the wrist, palm of your hand. And then you're bringing your left arm to your side. If that's too intense, you just stretch your right arm and just hanging a little bit into it. So target area, shoulder top, in and around, and be stimulating the fascia, and then heat rotation is coming, and chi, prana, energy can flow. So then we look to the energy lines, and that's all what's flowing through or walking through your shoulder, like on the front more, the lung and the heart, the pericardium, and on the back, the large intestines, small intestines, and the triple heater. So today had the lung more on the front, and the large intestine comes from the back and runs again to the front. So we do a lot of large intestines. And then the practice is again looking into space. And I learned this technique, I think in 2006. I was on a retreat in Thailand by Sarah Powers and her husband Thai. And her husband Thai was doing guiding meditations. And he learned me this meditation. But I recognized that I was doing this meditation every night before I go to sleep. When I was lying in bed, like when I was a child, I was so much in my head, thinking. And I had very trouble to fall asleep. And then one day I was thinking, oh yeah, I don't have to be busy with the thoughts, but I have to look in space. So I started to look in space. Maybe I learned it from the what they learn to children with counting the sheeps, jumping over things, over the cage. So I was looking into space, and then there's sometimes colors I see, sometimes image, and then slowly you fall asleep. So that's my technique to fall asleep. But it's actually a very good meditation technique to be aware of the more overviewing awareness. Not only aware of the things, but aware of the space where the things are in. And if we practice that and we learn that to do it also in ourselves, to be aware of the space, the energy, the light in us, instead of how we look or how bright we are, what kind of status we are. So just traveling now in yourself and not focus on the things. Just focus on the space in you. So respect for time. So slowly you let go and we transist to the other open wing. So you bring now I have to go a little bit to this side, stretching your left arm to your side. You place your Right hand into the mat so you can turning to your side. The head is down and stepping over with the right. Walk your hand maybe more forwards or downwards. And then just closing your eyes and arriving in yourself. Arriving into space. There's so much space in the cells itself. So much space in us. And doing the practice, we creating more space, more life force, more you. And my large intestines is talking to me. Maybe he's happy with all these stretches. Maybe you can hear it. It's so loud. But that's a good sign when your organs are talking to you with sounds. That's a sign that they are working. And when the organs are working, your rest and digest nerve system is on. And that's important to be able to look in, to able to be aware of the space around things, the space in you, the space into your heart. Then slowly, slowly you let go. And then turning back to your belly. And then you can decide to do the rebound, the last relaxation maybe on your belly. Or you turning to your back and maybe you feel like you need to bring your knees a little bit to you. And then coming in the last relaxation. creating space in your joints. Maybe shake your body a little bit, and then you choose rest. Relax deeply. And then slowly you start to move again if you need to start your day. Otherwise, maybe when you do this later, you can fall asleep, so you have to close the laptop. And otherwise, you rotate to your side and come to sitting. And then bring your hands together to the forehead like a wisdom mind, by the heart for an open heart, and by the belly to ground in your true self, in your essence, your authentic self. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you can and want, please donate me. I very happy for the 3 people who were donate me last week or 2 weeks ago. Thank you for that. And otherwise, maybe you're in the same situation like me, then enjoy the class and enjoy your day or night. Bye-bye.